So the LEC road trip just delivered one of the most entertaining pieces of drama the league has had in a long time, and it's got nothing to do with in-game events. For context, the LEC Spring Roadshow this weekend was hosted in Madrid at the Madrid Arena, and it was put on by Movistar KOI, the Spanish org co-founded by Ibai Llanos, who, if you don't know, is one of the biggest streamers in the world with 17 million followers, second only to Kaisenat's 20. But even though he doesn't have quite the most followers, he does, however, hold the all-time record for peak concurrent viewers on any individual Twitch broadcast, with almost 4 million people watching simultaneously during his La Velada del Año V boxing event in July 2025. He also has the Guinness World Record for it as well. This guy, a Twitch streamer, sells out Real Madrid's Bernabeu Stadium for a boxing event between content creators. That's how big of a deal Ibai is. So when he says he's the biggest streamer in history, it's not really a flex because he's just speaking facts, and it's actually just true. Now, part of the event included a planned show match between the two org founders, Ibai representing KOI's Spanish fanbase and Kameto representing KC's French side. Two creator-founded teams with two massive fan bases. A bit of friendly competition before the real games kicked off. And KOI's YouTube even dropped a hype trailer for it titled The Believer and the God. Take a look, it's actually very good. Anyway, for promotion, Kameto had already agreed to fly out Saturday morning at 6 AM to be there in person, and some of the KC players were already on site in Madrid. Then Friday night happened, and a simple tweet was the match to ignite the fire. It all started with a clip posted by Trayton TV, a French streamer and content creator, showing disappointment at the attendance for the opening match between Carmine Corp and G2. He posted this clip and said in French, "I'm gonna die laughing, there are like 10 of them," which was referring to the amount of people in the stadium during the opening ceremony. Now, Trayton is known for second degree humor and self-mocking French content, so it wasn't really meant as a serious indictment of the event. And Trayton himself clarified pretty quickly. He said that literally 20 seconds after the clip, he was on stream saying the production was actually really good, and that he was just questioning why the attendance in the stadium was low, and that the logical fix to solve this is just to put roadshows on weekends, which is pretty reasonable. People were just at work and had real life commitments. But the clip was already out there and it spread, lacking context, of course, like most things on the internet are these days. Now, the first to pick it up was Cadril, and he had a go at Trayton publicly, calling it, quote, clip farming and doom posting over a, quote, complete nothing burger, and saying people in the scene were farming likes instead of supporting it, which is a fair sentiment. But Trayton pushed back and said Cadril was throwing him out to his community without knowing what he'd actually said on stream or without context. Which is actually true, as we just covered the 20-second thing a second ago. They exchanged on Twitter a bit more, but the real catalyst to this whole thing joined the fray because of this tweet, which is Ibai, the owner of KOI. Ibai wasn't really thinking about the context Trayton was talking about and commented saying, taking into account the level of shit Casey has, it seems like too many people to me, as in 10 people in the arena was too many viewers for KC. And it just kept escalating from there. A KC fan pushed back and Ibai replied with a photo of a fuller crowd from the later MKOI versus GX match, saying no one wants to watch your shit team. And when another Spanish KC fan pushed back, he doubled down, saying, I repeat, you spent the whole afternoon laughing at our event and our fans. Hundreds of workers have busted their balls to make this happen. I'm going to keep laughing at you when you lose. You can keep insulting me because I'm the biggest streamer in history and I'm used to it. Now, I do understand. If I'd put months of work into an event and people were ripping on the crowd size, I'd probably be a bit touchy or salty about it too. But calling KC a shit team repeatedly to the founder and their fans online when Kameto had already agreed to fly out at 6 AM to help promote Ibai's event, yeah. Anyway, Kameto found the tweets in real time while he was streaming and responded, saying, quote, if nobody wants to watch my shit team, then why are we invited to the event and why are you inviting me to help promote it? He felt the disrespect went beyond trash talk and banter and questioned the invite altogether, given he'd only agreed to be there to help out Ibai in the first place. He then confirmed on stream he wouldn't be coming. Quote, I don't give a fuck, I can't be bothered. Saturday morning, Ibai announced that Kameto's team had formally notified them that the show match was cancelled, and then got one last tweet off. Quote, Kameto has cancelled the show match. Your team is shit at Kameto. And this afternoon, you'll be able to see it for yourself in the arena with 20 people in the stands. See you at 4 p.m. Which leads us to the actual game. A bit of foreshadowing because KC actually won 2-1. Kalist was named MVP, and here's a few of the highlights to paint a brief picture of the series.
Busio stuck around to help secure the dragon, but now Jojo...
Grand Starfall, Jojo finds Yike. He flashes over looking for the stun, gets into range of Scorpion to help out, but won't be in time. Jojo's down a second time of getting a solo kill. Ewan's going to come back in for the wave, though. Arrow's up in 5 seconds. I don't know if this is the play. He steps up, Busio on the turret, double flash away. Ewan gets ordered and dies. Jack gets through to Speaking Yahoo with the Weaver's Wall as well. Going to fly through the minion wave. Jojo looking at a 0-3 down the line, but a shifting sand slowed on down. There's the Encore. He flushes into it. He's shoved back, and Jojo dead again. Ewan found out in rotation. He gets Arrow, Dragon to stand over the wall. He steals it. The Dragon steals the Dragon. He lays the floor with lava, and Yike was caught napping the jungle thievery king. A Q with Yike, down it goes, Alvaro goes over, Cosmic Fighting dodges away. Finally, Dragons descend, Dovahkiin from Ewan sets up the play, but again, not enough. Callisto full HP, whittling him down. Flush from the AD carry from France. He's got a triple, he's got a quadra in his eyes, and Elyoya might be last to go.
It looked like a Game of Thrones, but it's Kalist who wants to sit on it in Madrid!
It's a pentakill! Yak walks through, he's out of fog of war now, he gets flushed on by Elio, sneaks into this shuriken flip. He thought he could take him, Jojo survived and lives. Fitz might be dead instead, Jojo, new target, shuriken flip, 5-point strike into his web.
With the Hextech Gunblade, and now Elyoya seeking Yike.
He got the red buff, by the way. Cease and desist. Killer Instinct. Yike called out. No Cyclone number 2 for you. Setting it up with the Pop Blossom. Kalist has walked into another web. Amkoi chasing Subwayne for the Vault Breaker. Kalist trying to kite away, but the flash. Elyoya finds his mark. Switch to Salmon. Busio's going to die again. We come back to live. A 5-point strike. Jojo's got fancy feet. Here's Yike. He says, okay, I'll do it, but he's got no Cyclone. Jojo thinking about who he can take on next. As Yike ran into save it, a shuriken flip. Jojo takes 2. Nexus turret to bear. Down in the ground. Nexus is down. Busio dead in the ground. And we move to game 3. Right, indeed, he's looking for the cannon minion to push out the way. He's going to go in the all-in. The Ultra Shock down against the wall. A solo kill first. Maybe the shield up. Mirwin gets out of the way. Kana hops out. He's in a 3-weight 4v1. True Shot Barrage missed, but Super here to claim the kill. Kana still trying to buy time. He does dodge everything, but eventually he will fall. Yike may get out, but he's flashing out down. He's greeting for his blue buff. Leave the pillar! Elyoya ignites the crowd! Amkoi are going to try and turtle it out. They're using Hex Gates for now, trying to get these recalls. They do. They find Kalist. He's a little bit low. Everyone from Amkoi jumping in. Isn't enough with Crush Down Yike. Oh my god, it's a massacre! It's Reset City for Yike! I wish Rivington was here. The noise he would make would be Yike jumping and jumping and waddling everywhere. And they have successfully taken away the S for Amkoi. Yike is legendary. He gets a reset. He'll take another 20-3 on Kha'Zix as KC moved to 7-1 and silence Madrid in a best of 3.
So after all that, Kometo's shit team rocked up to Ibai's house and took the series, which is just a fantastically petty outcome. They win, putting KC at 7-1 in the regular season, sitting second in the LEC spring standing. But to his credit, Ibai took it on the chin. He tweeted after the match, quote, "It was fun, GG's, Carmine Corp and Kometo. I bet all our aura and lost it. I accept the consequences. See you in playoffs." So with that apology and recognition, I reckon he's regained some aura. You can talk as much shit as you want if you're willing to own it when it goes badly, but this does mean the playoffs will be fun between these two teams. My God, there's some tension there. But one thing we haven't really covered with this whole situation is where the blame actually sits, because I don't think there's a real villain or wrongdoer here. Everyone has their own perspective and kind of are allowed to. Ibai was defending his event and his staff. I get that. Probably didn't really need to call KC shit to their team and their fans repeatedly online, especially when he was flying out at 6 AM to do him a favor. And Kometo then pulling out of the show match, I get why he did that too. The logic definitely checks out, but it also means a bunch of fans who paid to be there missed out on something they were hyped for. And KC as a team isn't exactly goody two-shoes either. They sling their fair share of shit online as well. They're kind of actually known for it. And unluckily, Trayton, who kind of started this whole thing, was pretty unfairly caught in the crossfire of something that grew way out of what it was meant to be intended for. So yeah, nobody comes out of this completely clean, but it made for some pretty entertaining drama, and KC versus Koi next time is going to be a heater. Anyway, with all this, let me know whose side you're on down below. Sub would go a long way if you're enjoying the LEC coverage, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.